Hey, what's up guys and welcome back. And I'm here with something brand new for you guys to enjoy. What if Naruto stole all the secrets of Konoha and their jutsus and run away with Yakumo? Yes, Yakumo Kurama of the Kurama clan. The Kurama clan who is said to possess immense genjutsu that could even put any Uchiha to shame. A genjutsu that could be brought into reality. Her and a Naruto that has a mindset that is really dangerous, stealing all secrets, all jutsus from Konoha and abandoning the village. They've been put through enough, and their mindset was made up. It was time for them to leave. How will the world react to this? How will Konoha react to this? Well, if you want to find out, just sit back, relax, place your feet up, and I hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget to check out the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 that I post What If on every single day. I already post a brand new episode of What If Naruto became the new god of apocalypse, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy. And also I post a new movie or anime prints of What If Naruto went to the My Hero Academy universe, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy as well guys. So let's jump right into this. Begin now guys. If you believe that I will give up on you, then you have surely gone mad. What purpose will there be for my existence if I cannot save you from this wretched life? What will I have to live for if I lose you, Yakumo-chan? You are the only thing in this world that is real to me. Everything else is a deception, an illusion. And I will not lose my only link to reality. I will not lose my only precious person and be left alone in this world. Neither will I allow you to bear the same fate. We will leave this place together and build a life of peace, prosperity, happiness. This is my promise to you. This is a promise of a lifetime. Believe it. Naruto-kun, do you really think that we can do it? Do you really think that we can somehow escape the third Hokage and his envoy agents? I mean, we're just kids. We're only 6 years old. We're not even well trained. And not to mention that wretched woman Kunai and the Hokage steal away my powers, said Yakumo angrily and hatefully. Yakumo was a 6-year-old girl. She had brown hair and teal eyes. Her skin was white and creamy. She was wearing a red kimono that was shaped like a two-piece, as it seems like she was wearing a red pants, but it was a kimono. And she was also wearing black sandals. She was crying. Shh, don't cry, Yakumo-chan. You know I hate it when you don't smile. I promise, we will leave soon. I just have to finalize a few things, that's all, the 6-year-old Naruto told her, as Yakumo had her face buried into his chest, tears streaming down her face as he held on to her, her hands tightly holding on to him, like he would suddenly disappear if she ever released him. Naruto is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy with 3 whisker marks on both of his cheeks. He also had longer than average canines, one of which that came past his mouth coming down. So even when he had his mouth closed, you could see that small little tooth right there. It gave him a little feral look, like a wild Inazaka. He was dressed in a blue t-shirt with black pants and sandals. Yakumo pulled herself back as she looked into his eyes. You promise? She said, as her eyes were wide and open, filled with tears. Yes, I promise. And I won't go back on my words. Besides, I have a plan, said the blonde, as he tried to suppress the concerned look on his face. However, Yakumo knew him too well, as she saw right through it, and it made her even more worried. She knew that Naruto-kun would not go back on his word, and she knew how smart and insightful he was, and she had no doubt in her mind that he would figure out a way for them to escape Konoha. But that is not what worried her. What made her worry was the fact that Naruto was keeping secrets away from her lately. He had never kept secrets away from her until roughly 6 months ago, when she first noticed the subtle changes in his behavior. She was scared. She suspected that he was doing business with some very dangerous people that he didn't want to tell her about. She had tried to follow him on a few occasions, but nothing had been done that was too out of the norm. That was actually what made it more suspicious to her. How could someone with the plans that she and Naruto have not act suspicious when she was following him for the entire week? Sure, normal people would not know what he was plotting, but to her, she wasn't able to see a thing. It was just more suspicious. Naruto-kun, she said, as she tried to dry her tears. Is there something you want to tell me? Is there something you've been hiding from me? I know that you've been up to something dangerous. I don't want you to suffer because of me. We don't have to leave. We can stay here, she said, more tears leaking down her face. I don't want the sacrifice that you made become too much. And worst of all, if I lose you in the process, she said, as she buried her tear, stained face against his chest. Yakumo-chan, Please, Naruto-kun, she said, cutting him off. I want us to do this together. I want to share the burden with you, she said. I don't want you to suffer alone. Tell me what's wrong, damn it, she said. Is it the Kyuubi? Is it bothering you? Is it trying to escape? Just tell me, please. I want to help, she said, crying in his chest. Tell her. An angelic, motherly voice said from inside Naruto's head. Mom, said Naruto. But I don't want to worry her. I'm trying to protect her feelings. Didn't you say I have to protect the heart of someone I love? If I tell her, then do not be a fool, Naruto-chan. By keeping secrets away from her, you're giving off the impression that she has not earned your trust. Do you know how much that must hurt for her to believe that the person she loves and trusts the most in this world does not feel the same way about her? The voice replied to the 6-year-old Naruto in a motherly tone. Naruto's eyes widened in shock. He never thought about it like that. His mother had warned him about this before. It was the action of a person that spoke louder than their words. Just because his intentions and thoughts were to protect her and shield her from pain and sorrow, it did not mean it would not be a negative effect if his actions provoked the opposite reactions. Now he felt bad. Do not let it bother you too much, Naruto-chan. What is important is that you learn from your mistake and not repeat them. She has earned our trust already. Besides, if we cannot trust her, there is no one that we can ever trust in this accursed world, the voice said in his head. Thanks, Mom, said Naruto. I think it's a good idea. I'll tell her everything. I don't want her to hurt anymore. As Naruto looked down towards Yakumo in his arms. Okay, I will tell you my plan, he said. Yakumo was surprised. She did not expect him to cave so quickly. He was usually stubborn in his views, his beliefs, and his decisions. What? You will? She said, her voice sounding hopeful, as she could tell that he was serious by the look in his face. However, it scared her when she saw that look in his face. It made it seem like he did not have any emotions. He was just so cold, almost like a killing machine when he had that look on his face. Oh, okay, she said, sniffling a bit. Alright then, first of all, I am going to show you something. It's a letter from my biological mother. She used a time-lapse seal on me before she died, a seal that would activate when I reached the age of 10, the same age that she and my father graduated from the Ninja Academy. But she made provision for the possibility of me graduating earlier than they did. She wanted me to have the gifts that she left as soon as I was ready to begin my higher level of ninja education. She set it up so I could release it with my blood and chakra if I were able to discover it before I reached the age of 10 years old. Thanks to meeting Kyuubi at an early age, I was able to view all of my memories up until the day I was born, and thus I discovered the seal. After viewing all my memories that the third Hokage seal away, said Naruto. His voice came out like a snarl at the end, as he gave Yakumo some time to digest the information. What? But I thought you said you never met your parents. I thought you said you were an orphan since birth, Yakumo said with a betrayed look on her face. Yes, I did, but I did not lie to you. That was the truth. I never met my parents in person, and they did die on the day of my birth. That is why my mother placed a time-lapse seal on me, so that she could give me some gift, even beyond the grave. Oh, I see. What was in the seal? If it's not too private, Yakumo said, as her cheeks became a bit red from embarrassment. Damn it, Yakumo, she said to herself. He probably think that you're too nosy now. Why did I have to ask that? She thought herself. I'll do better than tell you, said Naruto. I'll let you read the letter. Her eyes widened at that as she didn't expect him to let her read something so private. She thought he was going to give her a brief summary of the seal, but she was wrong. Well, you don't have to if it's too private, she said, as she tried to fight against her own curiosity. No, it's fine. I want to share this with you. You're the closest thing I have to family. I consider you like that at least. I love you that much, said Naruto, as he tried his hardest to resist the blush on his cheeks. Thank you. I love you too, she said, as she averted her eyes, as she was blushing in embarrassment, and because of his words. Why am I feeling like this? I mean, he's my only precious person. It's okay for me to tell him that I love him, isn't it? She thought to herself, as she was unable to comprehend the attraction between male and female. Well, she was 6 years old, so it's no surprise. Alright then, said Naruto. You remember the scroll with the mind transfer techniques that I gave to you, right? Yes, but what does this have to do with your mother's seal and letter, Naruto-kun, she asked. Naruto held his hand out, and with his mind, he willed a scroll to appear in his palm. Some might wonder how someone could just will something into existence like that. But the truth of the matter is, even though their physical contact felt real, there was actually nothing real about it. Both Yakumo and Naruto were connecting to each other's mind. Naruto had to be in a 2-mile radius for her to do the jutsu that she casts, a jutsu that linked their mind together. So they were not really together. Combining the mind jutsu along with her genjutsu, she was able to bring the both of them inside of a realm that made it felt real, even with the touch, as they felt like they were touching one another. The jutsu was so amazing that if a person did not know they were inside the jutsu, it would be impossible for them to know or even break it. The scary part of this was, Yakumo could harness this amount of power and do something this amazing even with her bloodline limit being sealed away. Well, the manifestation of her bloodline limit was sealed away by Kurenai some time ago. Here, said Naruto, this will explain everything to you, as Yakumo unfurled the letter in her hand. As she started to read, Dear Naruto-kun, my baby, please forgive your mother. I did not mean to die on you, Naruto-kun. I wanted to raise you up myself. I wanted to be there for your first word, your first step. I wanted to be there for when you first attend the academy. I wanted to be there for your first graduation. I wanted to give you advice when you were going on your first date. I wanted to be there at your wedding. But it pained my heart to know that I will not be there for you. I cannot believe that life will be so unfair. But you should not dwell on the past, Naruto-kun. Please be a strong boy for mommy. I know that you will grow up and become a very powerful ninja one day, just like your father. I don't have a lot of time left at the moment. You and I are lying in your crib as I write this letter. The Kyuubi has been taken away from me by a man I believe is Uchiha Madara. I do not know how he has managed to live this long, but be sure to remember that name. And make sure you become strong. He would definitely return for the Kyuubi one day. Your father has gone to do battle with him and the Kyuubi to protect the village. Yes, your father is Minato Namikaze, otherwise known as Yellow Flash and the Fourth Hokage. It shouldn't be hard for you to figure it out though. The both of you look exactly alike. No one can deny your heritage, even though we were married under secrecy. But listen to me, son. I'm going to tell you some important things that you need to know if you're going to survive this cruel and harsh ninja world. First of all, the Kyuubi has always been kept by the Uzumaki clan. Your great ancestor Mito Uzumaki was the first container, and I was the second. And there is no doubt in my mind that your father is going to seal it inside of you, making you the third. Now don't be scared, my son. We Uzumakis have very powerful body, and our chakra reserves are extremely high, far higher than any normal shinobis, and far more potent as well. Moreover, our family are the undisputed masters of sealing and barriers. These abilities are also crucial in our ability to contain the fox. Now, my son, I know the life of a Jinchuriki. It is very harsh, demanding, heartbreaking. I need you to find someone special to yourself, someone for you to love and treasure, because only pure love can save you from the darkness that is born within a person. when they are bonded with a tail beast. I wish I could have been that person for you, Naruto-chan, but I can't. Naruto-kan, be careful who you trust. You are the last heir of the great Uzumaki clan, and the one and only son of the Yellow Flash Minato Namikaze. A lot of people who want to attach themselves to you or use you for various reasons. The ninja world is full of deception and treachery. Make sure you have a keen eye, Naruto-kan. This is not what a normal mother would teach her son. But we are not a normal family. We are a shinobi family. Do not give your trust to others freely. Be careful. Be very careful. But do not worry too much about it though. You will have the strength to match, even surpass your father and I. Your mother will make sure of it. I have seal. At the back of your neck, a hidden, time-lapsing seal. That will be activate once you reach the age of 10. The same age. Me and your father graduated the academy. But if you discover this letter before that, the seal can be opened by your blood and your chakra. Do not trust anyone with the contents or the essentials inside of this seal. All of these are family heirlooms and secrets, Naruto-kan. They should be treasured and kept within the clan and the family. Inside the seal are all the Uzumaki clan's secrets, sealing barriers and techniques. All the clan history I'm aware of that originated from the time of the Sage of Six Paths. You will learn more about the sage in those notes, and you will learn more about your homeland, the land hidden in the whirlpools. I also seal a lot of water affinity. Jutsus inside the scroll or a family has a large strong water affinity, and I seal all kind of jutsus inside. Use them wisely. There's also the blood clone and shadow clone techniques inside the scroll. The shadow clone technique returns all the experience and memories once it is dispelled. This technique was a Uzumaki creation that was inspired by our lack of chakra control in our early ninja years of development. You can use the shadow clone jutsu to train your chakra control, study our sealing arts, or gather large amount of information, or use it to practice ninjutsu arts, because anything the clone learn will be transferred back to you in photographic memories. Now be careful, this technique is very chakra expensive. Though, as a Uzumaki and the son of the fourth Hokage, you wouldn't have to worry too much about your chakra. But be careful of dispelling too many clones at once, especially if you were using them to study large amount of information. Your father was a specialist of space-time techniques. The technique that got him his fame was the Hiraishin Jutsu, a technique that allowed him to transport himself from one place to another instantaneously. I have stored all of his space-time techniques and notes on different seals regarding space and time inside the seal. I have also included his ninjutsu, including Rasengan. These are the techniques that made your father a legend. I have no doubt in my mind that you would one day be able to master them. Your father wanted to create a third level of the Hiraishin. Maybe you would be able to improve it. He also wanted to add a nature element to the Rasengan. You have all of the notes, so use them wisely, Naruto-kan. Now, Naruto-kan, your mother might have done something illegal, but I did it for you, Naruto-kan. I'm sure that it will benefit you in the future. There is no doubt in my mind. There is a scroll that is given to the Hokage by the clans of Konoha when he take the position. It is a form of trust between the village and the clans. The scroll contains all the techniques of the clans inside. This is done by the clans to prove their loyalty to the village and the trust that they have in the Hokage. This also promotes good relationship between the two parties. More than that, the scroll is also made to ensure the continued existence of the clan. Sometimes a clan will be destroyed, just like how ours were destroyed. Or sometimes, clan techniques or clan information can be lost over time. The clans allow the Hokage to keep a scroll of their techniques, so if anything might happen and the younger generation of that clan comes up, the Hokage can provide them with all the necessary information about their clan, what they might have lost. The clans of Konoha are the Yamanaka clan, the Kurama clan, the Uchiha clan, the Aburame, the Inuzaka, the Hyuga, the Akamichi, and the Nara clan. Naruto-kan, I am not proud of what I done, but this is a ninja world, and a ninja must always use whatever advantage that is given to them. Deception, trickery, whatever is necessary. A ninja must use to achieve their goals. My goal is to protect the people I love, my son, and you are the person I love the most. That is why I made copies of all the scrolls that was entrusted to Minato when he became Hokage. Your father has a obligation to uphold. He gave an oath to them that you'd protect their secrets. As a Hokage, but I am under no such obligation because I have never made such an oath. So use what I have given to you wisely, Naruto-kun. Yes, your mother could be quite deceptive and diabolical, but I only want what is best for you. I want you to survive and live a long, prosperous life, and I want you to be happy. To do that, you will need a lot of strength. Even as a baby, only a few minutes after your birth, you are already dancing and tangling with death. Your life will be harder, but I know that you'll pull through. Your mother has made sure of it. One more thing, I've left all my studies and research off the medical arts. It was really my forte. I never really took interest in that field until I got married to Minato-kun. Us Uzumakis are blessed with longevity. We can even live up to twice the normal age of a human, or even shinobis. I did not want to outlive your father for too much, so I tried to find a way to prolong his life. But as you can see, I've run out of time myself. But I'll leave my research with you. Maybe you can find a way to prolong the life of your precious person. This is it, Naruto-chan. Minato-kun should be back soon. I do not know what will happen, but I know that he will seal a Kyuubi inside of you. No matter how much I protest, it is his duty as a Hokage. He will no doubt train you well, but if something happened to him, you will have the stored scroll with you. I love you, my baby. Your mother loved you so much. Never forget that. No matter what you do, no matter what you become, never forget my love. I wish you nothing but happiness and joy throughout your life. Goodbye, Naruto-kun. I love you, my son. The letter ended as Yakumo turned towards Naruto. Her eyes were already tearing up. She threw herself towards him. Naruto-kun, she said, I'm so sorry, as she held on to him tight. This is so sad. Why is life so unfair to you? Why does the bad things always have to happen to you? This is so unfair, she yelled, as she cried, holding on to him for dear life. Hey now, said Naruto, don't cry, Yakumo-chan. It's fine. Mom told me not to dwell on the past. I miss her, yes, and I wish I could have been raised by her. But she wanted me to be happy, and she sacrificed everything in order for me to be happy and to ensure I had a chance of saving this world. So I will not disappoint her. So please don't cry. The only thing I want to see is your smile, not your tears, said Naruto, as he was also trying hard to suppress his, as he held on to her tightly. As the Kyuubi spoke up, the demon inside of her killed her parents. Her beloved sensei who she trusted betrayed her and sealed her powers away with the help of the Hokage. The remainder of her family deserted her and wanted nothing to do with her, and she's in prison in her own home under constant watch of Anvus. She has been denied her dream of becoming a kunoichi because of her unhealthy physical conditions. All of this, and she still cries for you, believing that you have it far worse than her. What a strange girl. She did not even comment on the fact that you're the son of the fourth Hokage, the Kyuubi said, as Naruto ended up letting the dam break loose, as the both of them hugged each other, a few tears streaming down his face as well, as the two 6-year-old children cried. Naruto pulled back. Look what you made me do, he said. Boys aren't supposed to cry, you know, as he wiped his tears. As Yakumo giggled, as he tried to act like an all big grown-up. It was so cute. She sniffled. Sorry, I didn't mean to, she said, unable to fully suppress her laughter. She felt like a heavy burden had been lifted off her shoulders. As Naruto laughed with her, he just realized that he might have sounded rather stupid about boys not crying. You should stop fooling around. How long do you think that she can hold this jutsu up for? The Kyuubi warned him as Naruto's eyes snapped into realization. Yakumo-chan, he said, I have to tell you something important before we run out of time. Realizing that he was serious, Yakumo also got serious. What is it, Naruto-kan, she said. Yakumo, I have already secured a way for us to get away from this village. But not only that, for us to receive proper training until we are ready to take on the Hidden Leaf. Yakumo's eyes widened in awe and surprise, also happiness as well. How? How did you do it, she said, with childish curiosity. I have been collaborating with an older boy. His name is Kabuto Yakuji. I met him on the same day I met Mom, Kyuubi. He's the adoptive son of the best medical ninja currently living within the village. Together, along with my mother research, we have come up with a possible cure for your condition. Yakumo eyes widen in shock, disbelief and happiness hearing that. But how? You didn't even examine me or take any blood samples. And what has this cure got to do with our escape? Not that I'm not grateful, of course. As Yakumo was unable to believe, this doesn't sound too good to be true. She did not know much about medical stuff, however. She has been through so many tests throughout her life, so many examinations. It was impossible for her not to have questions. True, but Kabuto was also able to get access on you. From all the data the villagers collected on you, including your blood. Amongst other things, we were able to analyze everything and come up with a cure. Although Kabuto did most of the work. I also found out that Kabuto is not a loyal shinobi of Konoha. He's a spy that answers the Orochimaru of the Sanin. If you did not know, Orochimaru is a rogue shinobi that deserted the Hidden Leaf. But what most people does not know is, he has his own hidden village, the Land of Sound. Kabuto told me that he spoke to Orochimaru, and he wants us to be a part of his hidden village. And unlike Konoha, they will not hinder our growth. Orochimaru promised proper training and power if we promise to help him destroy Konoha and remain loyal to the Sound. Naruto took a breath from his long explanation, giving Yakumo some time to digest all of that he just told her. Yakumo did not know how to feel about this. On the one hand, she would be cured of her disease, and she would finally be able to become a kunoichi, something that she so much wanted. And also, she would no longer have to live in this place that she hated so much. But on the other hand, she heard so many bad things about this Orochimaru. The Sanins were the students of the third Hokage, and she hated the Hokage, and she did not trust him in the slightest. So why would she trust his students? Sure, he was a missing ninja and seemed to hate Konoha just like her, but she did not like his association with the Hokage, not one bit. I don't know, Naruto-kun. I heard some very bad things about him when my medical observers thought I was unconscious. I heard that he did cruel experiments on people, and even children. Naruto flinched when Yakumo mentioned experiment and children, caused her to narrow their eyes at him. What is it? Tell me, she said. Well, you see, I had to agree to an experiment Orochimaru wanted to do on me as a part of the deal. You see, because of Mother, I am the only one that can survive the experiment, and it will give me a lot of power. It will make me near invincible. Mother assured me that she will not let me die. She knew I will survive the experiment. Yakumo's eyes narrowed dangerously as she looked towards Naruto, like he was crazy. What? Are you insane? What on planet Earth made you agree to something so stupid? Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. I'm gonna kill you, she yelled. She jumped forward and knocked him to the ground as she wrapped her arms around his throat. How dare you? How can you be so selfish, you bastard? What will I do if you die? You want to risk your life for power. Why would you do that? I thought you said you loved me, she yelled. Normally, she wouldn't have enough strength to subdue him, but inside her genjutsu she could do whatever she wanted. Damn, she must really be mad if she called me by my full name, Naruto thought to himself. Can't breathe, he said. I knew it, said Yakumo as she released his throat. I knew it was too good to be true as she started to cry. She couldn't risk it. She couldn't risk losing him of all people. Not him. Yakumo-chan, said Naruto, as he regained his ability to breathe. Do you trust me? He asked. She nodded. I trust you, Naruto-kun, she said. Then believe me when I say that I will not die on you. We're going to leave this place together. I am going to survive Orochimaru experiment. We're going to heal you and unseal your true power. We will get our vengeance for you and for me, and we will live in a village where our talents and abilities will be admired and appreciated. I promise. Just please, believe in me, said Naruto as he stepped forward and enveloped her in a tight hug. Her arms slowly wrapped around him. You promise? You promise you won't die and leave me alone, she said. Yes, I promise. I'll never leave you alone. Okay, I believe in you, Naruto-kun, she said. Thank you, said Naruto, as Naruto's hands went through her. When he realized that he was also disappearing as well. We're out of time. I can't believe 2 hours already passed. It felt so short, said Naruto, with a disappointed look on his face. I'm sorry, Naruto, she said. I can't hold the jutsu up any longer. I'm getting tired. This is the part that she hated the most because it would have to wait a week before the both of them could speak once again, unless she sneaked away to his apartment. However, they could not risk the chance of anyone finding out that they even knew each other. Do not worry about it. We will be leaving this place the next time we meet. Stay safe, Yakumo-chan. I'll be coming for you, said Naruto as the both of them vanished. Naruto's eyes slowly opened as he was on a thick tree branch, a few miles away from the Kurama mansion. Finally, boss. I was just gonna kick you in the nuts. Guard duty is boring, you know. Why can't you make us do something more excited? Whined one of his 4 doppelgangers that was watching over him. It was something that he started to do nowadays. Before he made contact with Yakumo, one of his clones would set up a genjutsu that Yakumo had taught him to hide his presence and his location. The next 4 will keep guard while he meditated and enter the escape that Yakumo brought the 2 of them in. And at his home there was another clone, pretending to be him. He knew the Hokage had a way of watching him. Kyuubi could always sense that they were being watched. He had figured part of the Hokage jutsu out when he found chakra tags all over his clothing and his apartment as well. So Naruto created a blood clone and had the blood clone live in his apartment while he moved out and moved to one of Orochimaru's secret bases that the Hokage was unaware of. It was one of the hideouts that Kabuto told him about. But the person living inside his apartment was not just any normal blood clone. Naruto knew after his memories were unlocked by the Kyuubi that the third Hokage sometime did examinations on him when he was knocked unconscious and examined his seal. If the third Hokage did that to the blood clone, he would be in some serious trouble. Luckily, he had access to the 4 symbol seal that his father used to seal the Kyuubi inside of him. His father had used 2 4 symbol seals, which make the 8 tetragram seal. And his father had used the dead demon consuming seal to separate the yin half and seal it inside of himself and take it with him into the stomach of the dead god. Naruto was not sure why his father had done that. He still needed to gain a greater comprehension of the sealing arts to understand his father's reasoning. But that did not matter now. What mattered was he was able to learn the 4 symbol seal. Thus he was able to replicate the 8 tetragram seal that his father placed on his stomach. He then placed the seal on his blood clone's stomach, and with the help of his mother he was able to pump 6 worth tail of the Kyuubi's power inside of the blood clone seal. But Naruto knew, should there be another attack or assassination attempt on him, the Hokage would try to seal his memories away once again, so he would not find out. However, he would then notice that the other memory seals were gone. Luckily, his mother knew how to replicate the memory blocks. She had spent countless hours studying them before they made their first contact. This meant that they could re-seal away the memories of the clone before he discovered his mother, who is better known as the Kyuubi. This way, they were not just one step ahead of the Hokage, they were miles away. While his clone was posing as him, Naruto spent his entire time in Orochimaru hideout, as Kabuto came there on several occasions to check him out and spar with him. Sometime they will discuss their plans for the future. Sometime they would discuss medical and science together. Naruto had learned a lot of the notes from his biological mother research that she left with him. And he learned even more from Kabuto, all for the sake of helping out his first precious person. Well, his first precious human, that is. It's almost time, Naruto thought to himself. I have to go to the hideout and finalize things. Yakumo, just hold on for a bit longer, said Naruto, before he vanished in a Shunshin, his shadow clones poofing away right after his departure. Time skip. At the center of Konoha stood a very tall building with a kanji for fire painted on the outside. Inside the office, at the tallest floor, sat a 68-year-old man with grayish-white hair with a small white goatee. He had numerous wrinkles on his face and a few liver spots. He is dressed in a long, white robe with a kanji for fire shadow at the back, with black ninja sandals. As he sat in his chair, "How goes your investigations, Itachi-kun, Shisui-kun?" asked the old man, who is also known as Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage of Konoha. Hokage-sama, we have some disturbing news, said the 11-year-old Itachi Uchiha, a boy with dark eyes and black hair. He was dressed in a black t-shirt with high collars, as he had on Anvu armor, and dressed in Anvu pants with black ninja sandals. What did you find? Hiruzen said, as he narrowed his eyes. Our genjutsu assessment was inconclusive. Our deceased comrades has already been dead for 2 weeks when their bodies were discovered. The decaying process on the corpses had already reached a level where it would be impossible for us to determine whether they were under the effects prior to their deaths, said the older looking Uchiha. His name was Shisui Uchiha. He was a 14-year-old. He also had dark eyes and dark hair as well. He also had on an identical outfit except for his dark blue shirt. What is it, Shisui-kan? Hiruzen said, a troubled look on his face. Hokage-sama, we discovered something more troubling. The stab wounds on the victim was not a match for any weapons that we have in Konoha, except for one that shouldn't be possible. It was a 4th Hokage Harishin kunais, said Shisui in a calm tone. He already had more than enough time to get over his shock at the discovery that he made. Hiruzen Sarutobi was the longest serving Hokage, thus he had the more experience. He was hailed as a god of shinobi for his powerful skill set and his diverse eyes to see everything. He was also the student of the 1st and 2nd Hokage. He had stared death in the face more time than he can even count. Yet, nothing that he encountered had made him feel so terrified. Then what he just heard Shisui said, he had to ask again. I'm sorry, Shisui-kan, but can you repeat yourself? And kindly explain yourself as well, Hiruzen said. His mind was unable to understand, or possibly understand if what he was thinking was true. There was no way that his old successor could be alive and become an enemy to the village, or even worse. If another shinobi out there was able to replicate a jutsu that was able to kill 1,000 in a minute, a single man had went up against an entire army and demolished all of them in just a few minutes by himself. That jutsu was one of the most terrifying things that was ever created. Hokage-sama, all of the deceased were stabbed through the back. The position of the movements and the nature of the attack suggests that they were unable to react to the crippling blow. With an inconclusive genjutsu assessment, the only other possibility was that they were attacked by a very, very fast speed technique or an instant transportation technique. The two things that the 4th Hokage was known for. The wounds were definitely a result of the use of the 4th Hokage kunai, Shisui said, as Hiruzen was quiet for a while until he spoke. I see, he said. And what of the maid? Why did she not report that the 4 guards that were assigned to watch over the heiress of the Kurama clan has been deceased for 2 weeks? Why would she report that everything is normal when it clearly was not? Is she a traitor? Hiruzen asks. No, she's not. She was placed under a very powerful genjutsu. A genjutsu that could rival mine and even Shisui Senpai genjutsu. We believe that the genjutsu was cast by the Kurama heiress herself to buy time to cover her track and her accomplice tracks. In other words, she was not kidnapped. This was a well-planned, executed escape. Itachi explained. What is going on here? I saw Minato died in front of my arms. I even held his corpse. Yet here I am presented with evidence that he's alive, and now an enemy of Konoha. It is unlikely that he would be alive, but at the same time, it would be impossible for an enemy to replicate Minato's technique. What am I supposed to think here? Assuming that Minato-kun was alive, or that someone was able to replicate his technique. What could they possibly want the most? Hiruzen thought, before his eyes went wide in shock. Is something the matter, Hokage-sama? Asked Itachi. As the two Uchihas already moved their hand to their tontos, seeing the Hokage eyes snapped open like that, Hiruzen quickly pulled out a crystal ball from underneath his dex. As he placed on top of the dex, he brought his hand on top of it and channeled his chakra into it. When he pulled his hand back, a boy with blonde hair, blue eyes, whisker marks appeared on it. As he was in an orange and blue suit, he was sitting on a swing as he watched other children play. Hiruzen released a sigh of relief. seeing that Naruto was still safe within the walls of Konoha. So that is what he was worried about. It is not unexpected with the Kurama heir's disappearance, and the kind of evidence that we have. It's not a far possibility that the boy would be the next target, Shisui thought to himself. Shisui, Itachi, Hiruzen said, his voice completely serious. Yes, Hokage-sama. The information obtained will from now on be an S-rank secret. You are not to disclose this information to anyone who does not already know. Understood? Yes, the both of them said. Good. Now your next mission will also be a S-class of the highest importance. You are to watch over and protect Naruto Uzumaki, the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. You are to keep watch over him all time of the day, but you are to not make contact or even let him be aware of your presence or anyone else that he associate with. You will take turns watching over him, Itachi. You will take day shift, Shisui. You will take the night shift. This mission will begin immediately. Yes, Hokage-sama, both of them said. Good, dismiss. With that, the both of them vanished away. Those boys are two of the best I have in my ranks. If they can protect him, I don't know. If anyone can. I need to make contact with Jiraiya. He needs to hear about this. Damn it, I'm getting really too old for this job, Hiruzen thought. Meanwhile, in the land of sound, a chuckle could be heard, followed by a voice that was so slippery, so conniving. Welcome back, Naruto-kun. I was starting to think that you weren't going to return to us. Orochimaru hissed out. Naruto mumbled, as he was unable to speak properly, seeing that his body was floating in a cylinder glass tank with green liquid inside, as his face was covered by an oxygen mask, but his eyes were open though. Orochimaru chuckled. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, he said, but you're gonna have to work on your vocabulary if we're gonna communicate with one another. As he laughed, unable to hold his laughter back as he saw the look on his new subordinate face. Come on now, Orochimaru-sama. You should not antagonize Naruto so much. He's already contributed so much to our scientific knowledge. He's after all a living, breathing, scientific miracle, said Kabuto. Kabuto was a 10-year-old boy who had gray, silver hair, as he was wearing glasses. He was wearing a white shirt, purple shorts. He also had a shuriken holster on his right leg. He had the hidden stone headband protector on his forehead. As for Naruto, what is this? This feeling? I can feel your essence, Naruto said. Relax, Naruto-chan. You are merely sensing their chakra. This is no doubt a result of the experiment. One of the mere qualities of the experiment was chakra sensing, remember? The Kyuubi said. So that is how it is. What a useful ability. I can even tell the nature of their chakra. This is good, said Naruto, excitement in his tone. Naruto was broken out of his thoughts as Kabuto released the water as it poured down through the canister, going away. The oxygen mask and the syringe, they all plucked out of Naruto's skin with a rampant seal from Kabuto, as Naruto fell right down, unable to properly stand after just being brought out of that. Orochimaru looked down towards him. My. A little clumsy, aren't we, Naruto-kun? I'm afraid if this is your level, you won't be able to join my elite shinobis. There was a grin on Orochimaru's face as he attempted to test the boy's new body limits. Damn it. Mom, what's wrong with my body, said Naruto. It took a great amount of energy from the both of us to not only keep you alive but to assimilate the foreign DNA materials inside of you. Plus you haven't moved at all in over 2 weeks. You just need a bit more time to accumulate to your body and the energy that you have. Don't worry about anything. I won't let anything bad happen to you. Thanks, Mom, said Naruto, as he slowly got up to his feet. A tick mark appeared on Orochimaru's head, seeing that Naruto did not react to his little insult. As Kabuto suppressed his laughter, Kabuto pushed up his glasses. How do you feel, Naruto-kun, he said. Tired and drained, but fine, said Naruto. I see. But what I meant is, do you feel any different? Something related to the DNA in plants. I can feel your life force, your chakra. I can sense it, your nature. I can somewhat disclose your emotions, or rather, your character. Somewhat, said Naruto. So I was right after all. Chakra sensing had to be a quality obtained from the experiment. But tell me, what do you mean by discerning our character? Orochimaru's chakra feel cold and sinister. Yours just feel cold. The chakra is an extension of the human being. Thus, if the chakra feel cold and sinister, then the person is most likely cold and sinister as well, said Naruto. His words making Orochimaru narrowed his eyes as Orochimaru started to lead killer intent towards the blonde. Orochimaru-sama, Kabuto said, trying to stop his master from killing his new favorite ally, but his fear stopped him from even moving. Tell me, Naruto-kun, Orochimaru said, what are you gonna do now that you have these powers? Do you not trust us anymore because our cold and sinister character, as you say? Are you planning to betray me, Orochimaru said, as he took steady, calm steps towards the blonde. As Orochimaru's killer intent went out at a maximum level, our agreement was never about trust. We have an agreement that is mainly beneficial. That is all. The nature of your chakra does not concern me. My mother chakra is a million more times filled with malice than yours. But I trust her, said Naruto. Kabuto was shocked. Why? Isn't he affected by Orochimaru-sama's killer intent? Surely not even he can have that much resistance. Orochimaru quirked the eyebrow. Mother? What are you talking about? Who's your mother? He said in confusion. Orochimaru no regret not speaking to the boy more before subjecting him to his experiments. My mother, well, most people know her as the Kyuubi, said Naruto. So, he has already made contact with the Kyuubi, and it has already sunken its claws into him. This is more complicated than I thought. I cannot pretend around him, especially with its chakra sensing ability, and definitely not with the Kyuubi being his ally. He will see right through me. I won't be able to turn him into my loyal pawn. It seems manipulating him is nearly impossible. But there is no reason for him not to be my ally. We share the same loathing for Konoha and Sarutobi Sensei, and not to mention his great interest in science. He also seemed to have a great bond with Kabuto. Everything shall be fine, Orochimaru thought, as he lamented the fact that he would not be able to take over the boy's body when he completed his rebirth jutsu. I see. One more question though. Why aren't you affected by my killer intent? Stronger and elite Jonins have trembled before me, and yet you, a mere child, are not even shaken by my presence. Why is that? Orochimaru said. A human killing intent, no matter how strong said human might be, is a drop in the ocean compared to my mother killing intent. What do you think will happen if a person was exposed to that kind of killer intent on a daily basis? That person would definitely be able to develop a higher tolerance than normal killer intent, wouldn't you say? Naruto asks. Makes sense. I'm embarrassed. I never even considered that a possibility. In any case, go and find little Yakumo-chan. She has a new surprise that she's been waiting to show you for about a week now. Use your sensor powers to track her down. It will be good practice for your upcoming tests, and for you to learn the layout of our base. Tests? Said Naruto. Orochimaru chuckled. Of course, Naruto-kun, he said. It is customary for us to test a successful experiment by placing the subject against a powerful opponent in a controlled environment. Be sure to prepare yourself mentally and physically. You only have an hour before the test begins. That makes sense. What are the rules? Said Naruto. No ceiling or barriers, no weapon, no demonic chakra, no genjutsu. Everything else is allowed, except for killing. Make sure that you don't kill your opponent. He's a very important part of our plans. Yes, I will prepare accordingly. May I be excused now, Orochimaru-sama, said Naruto. As he spoke respectfully, Orochimaru chuckled. Can't wait to see little Yakumo-chan now, can you, Naruto-kun? She's a lucky one to have such a protector with so much potential. Don't mind us. Go along. Oh, and be careful, the others might not take an instant liking to you. They might want you to prove yourself. Orochimaru warned him. Yes, Orochimaru-sama, said Naruto, as he made his way off. Kabuto, Orochimaru said. Yes. How may I help, master? He said. That boy. Is he truly worthy? Kabuto chuckled. Orochimaru-sama, don't you get it? It isn't about his current worth as an ally, but his potential worth. Yakumo-chan, without Naruto-kun to fuss over her, and her to fuss over him for the last 2 weeks, was forced to make new friends during Naruto absent. In fact, she, Karen, Teiwire, have become really close in the last week and a half or so, being similar in age and being some of the few girls here in the academy ranks. Orochimaru chuckled. "What a sly dog you are, Kabuto," he said. "Those girls all have horrible pasts. No, rather, all of the kids have horrible pasts. Even at a tender age, you're counting on Naruto-kun and Yakumo-chan, forming powerful bonds with those kids that have similar pasts, aren't you?" As Orochimaru looked towards Kabuto, Kabuto had a look of amusement on his face, a tiny smirk. My, Orochimaru-sama, you know me too well for my own good." Orochimaru chuckled. "Very well. We shall see how things develop very soon. I've been thinking though, how exactly did that girl escape Sarutobi-sensei watch? It couldn't have been easy to get her out, even for you." "You give me too much credit, Orochimaru-sama. I am not that skilled, yet you know. In any case, I didn't have to do anything actually. They did everything themselves. All I had to do was guide them to the location." Orochimaru looked at him, a shocked expression. "Don't play games with me, Kabuto. You expect me to believe that two 6-year-old kids were capable of such a feat? No matter how talented they are, it's not possible. You underestimate them, Orochimaru-sama. It is what happened, whether you believe it or not. The situation will not change whether you choose not to believe in it. The facts are still the same, Orochimaru-sama," Kabuto said with a sinister grin. "Do not patronize me, Kabuto. Tell me, what exactly happened before I make you man the next meal?" "Well, that would be a terrible fate. Very well, I will tell you. You see, Naruto, for some unknown reason, appeared to have come in the possession of one of the 4 Hokage Harashin kunais." As Kabuto paused for dramatic effects, a sinister look on his face. "Impossible," Orochimaru said. "He couldn't have." "Don't be hasty in your conclusions. Naruto-kun does not know the technique. You see, Yakumo-chan was able to place a very powerful genjutsu on our watchers for about a year now, without them even noticing. Anyway, the jutsu is an instinct suppression jutsu. They could sense Naruto coming behind them, but their survival instincts were not going to react until it's too late. No one would expect 4 Anbu level shinobi to die without a fight unless they come up against someone with a powerful genjutsu or great speed like Minato. Naruto-kun using Harashin kunai to do the killing give me the impression that they made it look like the 4th Hokage, or at least someone who know the technique, which would trigger alarms all throughout Konoha. However, with the Uchihas there and the medical ninjutsu, they will quickly find out that the targets were on their genjutsu before they die. It was a good plan but poorly executed because of their lack of experience, Orochimaru said. Don't you think you're underestimating them just a tad too much? No. What makes you think that, Orochimaru said? Well, I never said their plan ended there. You see, Naruto-kun was able to replace Yakumo-chan watchers with his shadow clones. That jutsu, together with Yakumo genjutsu, and knowledge of her watchers' behaviors and mannerism, gave Naruto the ability to impersonate her watchers for over 2 weeks. So, the real watchers have been dead for 2 weeks, while Naruto clones have been impersonating them the entire time. So by the time Konoha discovered the body, they will not find any trace of genjutsu. So this in turn they have to believe that the person whoever did this used a 4th Hokage jutsu, or it was the 4th Hokage himself. Orochimaru burst out laughing. What an amazing child, he said. No, I should say, what an amazing children they are, Naruto and Yakumo together. A wicked grin spread across his face. They're going to make powerful additions to my army, he said. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace.